Hello, it's Saturday night and just before all the horrible vermin come into town with their alcohol-driven nightclubs that Kevin Davies seems oh so anti, we're just going to do you a little tour of Kingston again. This time we're not talking about music so much, although obviously there's Banquet, home of in-stores. You might have seen Laura Marling there, Frank Turner, Bastille and whatever. That's what I do for a day job. But this isn't about my day job, this is about me as a Kingston resident, and right now we're looking at the old post office. This is the site. Hang on, wait for the buses. Green Cross Code, kids, and adults, Green Cross Code. There's a lot of buses in Kingston. That's a different thing altogether. I'm not anti-TfL. Okay, we'll cross the road, and we're going past the old post office. So I remember when it was a post office. What a time for Royal Mail that was. And this is the site of the proposed redevelopment. Where it's definitely coming along. It's not just proposed, it's something that's just happening. We'll talk about that in a tick. But today I've been on the street, I've been going door to door a little bit. Haven't really done too much of that. It's been super busy with work, record store day, we've done loads of stuff at work and what have you. That's not interesting to you as a resident, is it? But it's a genuine reason why I haven't been door to door so much. But I have been door to door today, and a few other times. And there's three things that people have been saying when I've been on the door. Been going around with these flyers, and the first thing people say is, your hair looks much better on the flyer, doesn't it? But you know, we get over that quite quickly. Move on to the next thing. The next two things, well, one is this. You'll see a lot of these flyers around at the moment, all about the anti-redevelopment of St George's, plans for the old post office site. You'll see in here it says this is not an election leaflet or from a political party. That's true. This is an election video, but again, not from a political party. I think that that's a key thing. If you want someone to talk about the disgruntlement that residents feel about, not disgruntlement, that's not even the right word, but the actual like anger that residents feel about not having their views represented, about having this massive, like, well, I've heard 15, 17, 19 story building right on the edge of town, right in the middle of town, right on the edge of the Fairfield, which is like one of the only open spaces in the middle of Kingston. We just crossed that road, and I'll spin you around in a tick and show you that we are right on the Fairfield. So the point is that there's all these plans about a big high-rise development in the middle of Kingston, and the residents from KT1 don't want that. Like, it's absolutely clear, and the more I talk to people on the doorstep, which sounds like a cliche, it's true, the more people are like up in arms that this isn't the Kingston that they know and love, and they don't want it turning into another Westfield. That's the only Westfield we want in Kingston. Like, there's a whole worry that, and it's not that we don't have a corrupt party political leader running the council. Like, I'm not suggesting that, but there is something where someone who's been around property development all his life doesn't recognise the downsides of overdeveloping the town centre. It's not that it's gentrification as such, but it's something along those lines where these 19, 17, 15 story blocks of flats and what have you, right in the middle of town. That's not the affordable housing that the Kingston residents and voters need. This is for people outside of Kingston coming in and not like, oh, they're taking our land. It's not that, but this isn't like a thing for Kingston people. It's all profit and commerce driven. The other thing that people are saying on the street, the third thing, and I'm just stopping here because we're outside a obviously pro-Lib Dem photo. This isn't about the general election. This is about the Kingston by-election. And I've heard people saying like when they're talking to me, like, oh, I like what you're doing, I like what you're trying to represent, but like, is it a wasted vote? Are we am I just giving more power to the Tories if we split the Lib Dem and the Labour and vote with some votes going to you instead? The thing that's important about that is, no, it's not a wasted vote. What's going to happen is, regardless of who wins this election, regardless of who wins this by-election, you're going to have a Tory council in Kingston. The deal is that if I'm on the council, if I'm elected, you'll have a completely different voice arguing for you. I'm not in a party, I'm just talking what I feel as a Kingston resident and as a Kingston business person, and someone who loves this town and someone who's not going to move away for like a higher place on my career ladder. This is all about looking after Kingston, not having to fall in with whatever party HQ says about policies. This is to talk about what you guys from Kingston are bothered about and your concerns. And I have to believe that the people on Kingston Council aren't evil people. They're not out there to pull one over, like to do a fast one or whatever. I have to believe they just don't know the concerns of local residents, because it's better to be ignorant than arrogant. Better to just be not knowing than to know what people are thinking and just going against it altogether. So let's have that voice. Let's talk to these people. Let's bring up concerns that Kingston residents have about the overbuilding of the town centre, about how like some kind of demented idea about like trying to keep up with Croydon, like making us Croydon upon Thames, put a Westfield in here. Or I'm sure someone will say it's not a Westfield, but you know, we're talking about these big shopping malls which don't have the character of Kingston. You know, I'm not all traditional and what have you, but like there's something rad about Kingston. There's something that's worth looking after, and if we don't like fight for that now, we're just going to be left with this generic identikit. This is what you do. This is what you do for your social life. This is how you spend your money. This is where you live. And like, just give us some individuality and let's look after Kingston Town, because like this is the place that I love. You live here. You probably love it too. So yeah, I think that's my stream of consciousness for today. This camera gets real heavy, honestly. That's why I'm out of breath. So I'm going to quit it there. Vote for me on Thursday, this Thursday, 7th of May. Jon Tolley tweets on Twitter. And yeah, give us a voice to let you have a voice. Cheers.